I have a photograph in my lap right now, face down. I turned it over because if I look at his face while I tell you this, I won't be able to finish. And I need to finish. Because what I did to this man is something you are doing right now to the person sleeping next to you tonight, and you don't even know it. My husband Arthur told me I was beautiful for the first time outside a movie theater in 1957. I was 23, green dress, borrowed from my sister because I didn't own anything worth wearing on a date. He looked at me and he said, "Hazel, you look beautiful tonight." And I said, "Oh, stop it. Oh, stop it." That was my answer. The love of my life looked at me like I was the only woman on earth, and I told him to stop. Like he was doing something wrong. Like seeing beauty in me was a mistake I needed to correct. I'm 90 years old now. Arthur is dead. 14 months. And I need to tell you what "oh stop it" cost me. What it cost him. What 67 years of "oh stop it" does to a man who never stopped saying it anyway. Arthur called me beautiful, the way the sun comes up, daily, without fail, without needing permission, without needing anything in return. Morning, I'd come downstairs in a bathrobe with my hair flat on one side and toothpaste on my chin, and he'd look up from his coffee and say, "There she is, the most beautiful woman in the world." Afternoon, I'd come in from the garden with dirt on my knees and sweat on my neck, and he'd say, "God, you're beautiful." Evening, I'd be falling asleep on the couch with my mouth open and my glasses crooked, and he'd put a blanket on me and whisper, "You're so beautiful, Hazel." And every single time, for 67 years, I batted it away. "Oh, stop. You need glasses. Don't be ridiculous. You're crazy. I look terrible. I'm a mess. Stop saying that. Stop saying that." I told the man who loved me to stop saying the thing I needed to hear most, because I couldn't receive it. My hands were closed. My father never said it. My mother never said it. Nobody in my whole childhood ever looked at me and said, "You're beautiful." So when Arthur said it at 23, my brain heard a lie. Beautiful was for other women. Beautiful was for the girls in magazines. Beautiful was not for Hazel Marie Walker from a dairy farm in Wisconsin with too many freckles and a gap between her front teeth. So I rejected it. Not once, 1,000 times. I rejected the word beautiful from the mouth of the only man on earth qualified to say it to me. Because he knew me. He'd seen me sick. He'd seen me crying. He'd seen me at my worst, my ugliest, my most broken. And he still said it. That's not flattery. That's testimony. That's a man under oath telling the truth about what he sees when he looks at his wife. And I told him his testimony was wrong. For 67 years, I overruled the only witness. But here's the thing that wakes me up at 3 a.m. The thing that's eating me alive from the inside. The thing I found in his closet 6 weeks after the funeral that made me sit on the floor and not get up for 2 hours. I never said it back. Not the deflection. That's bad enough. But worse. Worse than deflecting his words was never giving him mine. In 67 years of marriage, I never once looked at Arthur and said, "You are handsome. You are beautiful to me. I like looking at your face. Your face is my favorite face." Not once. Not one single time. I found a shoebox in the back of his closet, taped shut, old. I opened it. Inside were photographs, maybe 50 of them, all of Arthur. Young Arthur, 20s and 30s, and in every photograph he was dressed up. Hair combed carefully, nice shirt, sometimes a tie. Trying. You could see it. He was trying to look good. And on the back of every single photograph, he had written 2 words in pencil. Not bad. Not bad. My husband looked at a photograph of himself, a photograph of a man so handsome that I lost my breath the first time I saw him at a church picnic in 1956. And the best he could say about himself was not bad. Not handsome, not good-looking, not bad. The lowest possible passing grade. A man grading his own face and barely giving himself a C. I sat on that closet floor, holding those photographs, and I understood what I had done. Arthur didn't know he was handsome. The same way I didn't know I was beautiful. We were the same. 2 people who never heard it growing up. 2 people starving for the same word. The difference is, Arthur overcame his starvation. He fed me every day, 1,000 times. He looked at a woman who couldn't see her own beauty, and he described it to her until his last breath. He fought through his own hunger to feed me, and I never fed him back. He was hungry his whole life, and I was holding the bread, and I never handed it over. Not because I didn't see his beauty. I saw it every day. When he laughed and the lines around his eyes deepened, and he looked like a man carved from warm wood. When he rolled up his sleeves and his forearms were tan from the garden. When he read the newspaper with his glasses low on his nose, and he looked so serious and so gentle at the same time. When his hair went gray and then white, and somehow he got more handsome with every year, because time didn't diminish Arthur. Time refined him. I saw all of it. I thought all of it. I felt all of it. And I said none of it. Because my mouth didn't know how to form those words in that direction. My mouth could say, "Dinner's ready, and the roof needs fixing, and don't forget to call your mother." My mouth could not say, "You're beautiful," not to his face, not to the face that deserved to hear it more than any face that has ever existed on this earth. I think about him getting ready in the morning, standing in front of the bathroom mirror, buttoning his shirt, checking himself, wondering, is this okay? Do I look all right? Does she think I'm handsome? He must have wondered that. He must have, because I wondered it every day. Am I beautiful? That question lived in me every minute of every day. It must have lived in him, too. And every morning he walked out of that bathroom, and I was in the kitchen, and I didn't look up. Or I looked up and I saw him, and I felt the warmth in my chest that I always felt when I saw him, and I said nothing. I kept the warmth inside, private, locked. like it belonged to me and me alone. It multiplies. I know that now. Telling someone they're beautiful doesn't use it up. It grows. It doubles. The word comes back fuller than it left. I know that now. At 90, 14 months after the only man who ever called me beautiful stopped breathing in a hospital bed while I held his hand, and still could not make my mouth say, "You are the most beautiful man I have ever seen, and my life was better because your face was in it every morning." I didn't say it at the hospital. His eyes were closed. His breathing was shallow. I held his hand, and I opened my mouth, and my father's silence came out. Nothing. Nothing at the most important moment of my life. Silence at the finish line of 67 years. He died without hearing it. I say it now, to this photograph, every night. I turn it over and I look at his face. 26 years old, church picnic, 1956, white shirt, sleeves rolled, squinting in the sun, smiling at someone off camera, smiling at me, probably. I look at this photograph and I say, "Arthur, you were beautiful. You were the most beautiful thing in my life. You were beautiful at 26 and 46 and 66 and 88. You were beautiful when you called me beautiful. You were beautiful when you got old and your hands shook and you couldn't button your own shirt. You were beautiful every minute of every day. And I'm sorry I made you write 'not bad' on the back of your own photographs, because I couldn't find the courage to tell you what you were." Not bad. That's what he thought he was. Not bad. Because nobody told him otherwise. Because his wife heard beautiful 1,000 times and gave back, "Oh, stop it," and never once turned the word around and aimed it at the man who deserved it most. If someone calls you beautiful, if your husband says it, your wife says it, your partner looks at you and the word comes out of their mouth, and your first instinct is to say, "Oh, stop," or "Don't be silly," or "You need glasses." Close your mouth. Open it again. And say it back. Not thank you. Not you too. Say the actual word. You are beautiful. With your eyes on their face, with your hands on their hands. Say it like you're reporting a fact, like the sky is blue, like the coffee is hot. You are beautiful, and mean it. And then say it tomorrow, and the day after, and the day after that. Say it until they believe it. Say it until not bad becomes something better. Say it until the word lives in them so deep that no silence can ever dig it out. Arthur said it to me 1,000 times, and I believe it now. At 90, 14 months after he died. I believe it now. That's how powerful the word is. 1,000 times over 67 years, and it finally landed in an empty house with the man who said it gone. It finally landed. It landed too late for him. Don't let it land too late for yours. Say it tonight. Say it first. Say it now. You are beautiful. Say it before the closet, before the shoebox, before not bad in pencil on the back of a photograph of a man who deserved so much more than not bad. Say it, please, while they can still hear you.